couple quick updates here. First up, this is TechCrunch.com. Epic raises $2 billion at a nearly $32 billion valuation to build its kid-friendly metaverse. Epic Games, the Fortnite maker. We have our Fortnite guy. I forget who. What was his name?
It's Sir Aaron J.
Aaron J. Yeah,
Night of the Cute Little Piggies is our official Canary Cry esports athlete.
That's right. So maybe he'll be making his way into the metaverse as well. Fortnite maker Epic Games announced today that it has raised $2 billion in funding from Sony and Kirkby, the parent company of the Lego Group. Wow, this is big time. With both companies investing $1 billion each. This latest funding round gives Epic a money equity valuation of $31.5 billion. Need somebody else to give a little extra more to hit that $33 billion there. Epic says the new funding will go towards its efforts to build its kid-friendly metaverse and will also support its growth or continued growth. Today's announcement comes a few days after Epic revealed that it's partnering with Lego to build a metaverse aimed at kids. The companies say they are going to shape the future of the metaverse to make it safe and fun for children while building an immersive digital experience for kids to play in. With this new funding, Epic says all three companies aim to create new social entertainment that explores the connection between digital and physical worlds. And they're just priming the youth generation here for different kind of experience.
Well, it's a reality defining experience for the whole generation. Yeah. It's where we were the last generation to grow up without the internet. These generations there's an active corporate, by the way, corporately incentivized, corporately built, basically child training program to form their reality to be a mix of digital and material realities. It's really bizarre how these corporations are aiming to reframe a cosmology of our children, which I'm sure will be very profitable for them in the future.
Not only profitable, we have some familiar names here. Prior to this funding round, Epic raised $1 billion in April 2021, featuring a $200 million Sony Group Corporation investment. Other investors included Appaloosa, Bailey Gifford, Fidelity Management, there they are again, and research company, GIC, T. Rowe Price Associates Managed Accounts, Ontario Teachers Pension Plan Board, BlackRock Managed Accounts, which include
good.
Park
they
West.
Are just literally in every single story.
Park West, KKR, Alliance Bernstein, Altimeter, Franklin Templeton, and Luxor Capital. So great. BlackRock money going to be helping the children, the kid-friendly metaverse. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, they're the ones funding the reprogramming of reality for your children. It's beautiful.
Well, there's another side to this, which is, according to the program adorebrasil.com.br, which is some kind of Brazilian outlet here. Headline: First Brazilian church in the metaverse opens next Wednesday, the 13th, which is today. Today's the first Brazilian metaverse church service is happening.
Okay. Yeah.
This Wednesday, the 13th, which is today, it will be inaugurated. The first, I think this is translated, so there might be some weird, grammar going on. It will be inaugurated, the first Brazilian church in the metaverse. The announcement was made by pastor and singer Andre Valadão, D-A-O, last three letters of his name, Dow.
All right. He's a Cyberman.
From Lagoina Baptist Church. According to the publication of the religious leader, the novelty will be hosted in the Lago Play 2 virtual environment that was developed to bring entertainment and biblical teaching through digital games. You can see a little, for those of you watching, there's a photo here. It's just, just a VR version of the church building there. Yep. Quote, a church must be in the metaverse because I believe it is a place not only for online interactivity, but one virtual reality of people with people, and we too can evangelize. pray for them and lead them to the gospel. The gospel is very simple. It has to be preached to every creature on every earth. The translation errors. He's really leaning into the multiverse idea there.
Yeah.
Every creature on every earth, the gospel must be preached to. What you were going to say something?
I think there's an interesting discussion to be had here because, of course, the church should be bringing the message,
the gospel into the metaverse,
gospel to everywhere. That is the calling. But there's something slightly dystopian, slightly spooky that the metaverse is being taken so seriously and is so
ubiquitous in its pursuit.
Yeah, we've talked about the reason why the metaverse is being taken seriously. The economic forces have sort of metastasized it into a form of reality using capital and bajillions of dollars and marketing forces and brainwashing and all these sorts of things wrapped up in that as it takes form as a legitimate version of reality. But there is, on one hand, a church recognizing the metaverse as like a place they have to be, gives it at least the illusion of some sort of spiritual legitimacy. And I'm not saying it's not, actually. I think the metaverse is probably more spiritually legitimate than it is like physically legitimate.
It really, you can have some apologetics.
It's a manifestation of a spiritual realm, or at least a metaphor.
Reflection,
It's a metaphor or a reflection that there is another realm that can be accessed and is valuable. But it is just whether or not that is true or is good for the church. There is something about the church giving it that sort of legitimacy that has an uncomfortable, what's the word?
Undertone.
No, like an uncomfortable consent. It's like an uncomfortable consent where the church is kind of like, okay, yes, we will operate in this and you will like it. And if there is a realm to be conquered on this earth, we will also do it. Well, even if it lends legitimacy to the metaverse that perhaps it wouldn't have without the church, I guess.
Sure. I think someone like us who has sort of an eschatological point of reference when it comes to where it's all leading, we may have more of an effective sort of maybe not effective is not the right word, just a more clear sort of mission statement or path in terms of, if we do build anything in the metaverse, it's not so that we can just, cool metaverse. It's more like, no, we kind of know where this is headed and look how far it's developed. Here we are, like, this is where it's headed.
Again, I've said this word so often this episode, and maybe it's just a theme. I mean, we have a cohesive cosmology as far as the metaverse is concerned. I mean, maybe that's not the perfect word, but I think when it comes to the metaverse and a new reality and another world and whatever, I think cosmology is actually not a bad word to use.
Good,
we have a cohesive cosmology of the metaverse that we have been talking about before the metaverse was even accessible by a normal person.
Right.
While it was still a twinkle in Silicon Valley's eye, we were forming our own opinions and cosmology of the metaverse, which is why I think, of course, us being the best podcast in the metaverse.
That's right. Best podcast in the metaverse.com. Go find out who that is.
Go check it out.
Put it in your browser.
And I think that's great. Thank you for bringing that up. That really rounds out what I was bad at articulating just a second ago, which is when it comes to the church entering, lending credence to and legitimacy to the metaverse. I think the reason why I'm uncomfortable with that is it's kind of an uninformed consent.
Uninformed, that's a good way to put it.
They do not have a cohesive cosmology in general. I don't know. Maybe this church has been talking about the metaverse for years. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't.
They're doing it because it's trendy and it's the next thing.
It's trendy.
It's not because
there's an economic aspect to it.
Yeah.
You can say it's for evangelism, of course, but if you do not, I mean, evangelism, one of the really important parts about effective evangelism is that you have a cohesive cosmology. That's like almost the entire point of evangelism. You have a cosmology that you are sharing with someone else. And if you are going into a world that you do not have an effective cosmology for, you are going, I think that's going to result in ineffective evangelism.
Yeah. You're going to adopt the cosmology that is presented to you instead of having your own that's biblically based. Yeah.
Exactly. Boom. Yep. Nailed it. Yep. Okay, this is great. I'm actually glad we had this conversation, and I hope it sticks with me because on Ravel coming up in the next month or two, we're going to have a Metaverse pastor to talk about it as well.
We have a whole Metaverse pastor. So this is not a real pastor. This is a Metaverse pastor.
No, he's a real.
Oh, okay. So he's pastor. From the Meatverse.
He's a real human being who is a pastor in the Metaverse.
Here's something people haven't considered. We will all be aliens in the Metaverse.
Oh, we're all aliens.
Who are the natives? Who are the natives in the Metaverse? The
robots are the robots,
AI, the demons, the
code,
the spirits,
the whatever.
Yeah,
sure.
Something to think about.
We are but pilgrims, Gonz, in the
demonic
Metaverse.
Power.
Travelers passing through. Again, what a wonderful metaphor for the real life.